The atmosphere was charged, buzzing with expectation. Liam's gaze was unwavering, filled with intensity. He had exercised patience, biding his time and restraining himself, but that was no longer the case. I pivoted, locking eyes with him. He was fully engaged now. I raised my fingers, a subtle beckoning. He inhaled sharply, his muscles tightened, and then he rose to his feet. Before we dive in, I kindly ask for a quick favor from you. Show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. It's complimentary, requires just a moment of your time, and makes a bigger impact than you realize. Additionally, you'll always stay updated with the latest story. Let's dive in and begin our journey. Liam's hands gently embraced my waist, drawing me near as we swayed together in the serene comfort of our American home. With each deep breath and every gentle movement, my skin radiated warmth, infused with a vibrant energy that lingered on. "Don't stop," I whispered, my voice just a soft breath. The tension between us escalated, hanging in the air, until I finally surrendered, my body melting against his. He exhaled gently, drawing me nearer as we embraced the serene warmth of the moment. For a moment, we simply rested together, the warmth that enveloped us still palpable. His fingers glided in gentle circles across my back, his chest rising and falling like a rhythmic tide. Yet there was an unmistakable quality to the silence that set it apart. I tilted my head just a bit, keeping my gaze on him. "I noticed you're quite reserved." He released a gentle laugh, lost in thought. I smiled slyly, allowing my fingertips to lightly brush against his skin. "What's the story?" I noticed his hesitation, even though it was barely perceptible. That was truly exceptional. I chuckled gently, nestling closer to him. "Absolutely, it was." My fingers danced lazily across his skin. "Have you considered taking it to the next level?" He caught his breath for a moment. "Improved?" I leaned on one elbow, observing him intently. "We've always embraced adventure, but imagine if we pushed the boundaries even further?" For just a fleeting moment, his body tightened. I caught the nuance, even if it was understated. That only fueled my curiosity even further. "Come on," I urged, tilting my head. "It's clear that this has crossed your mind." Our eyes locked, a spark dancing in the depths of his gaze. After a deep breath and a moment of silence, he finally began to speak. He confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. The words hung in the air, dense and palpable, creating a heavy atmosphere between us. I gulped, feeling my heart race. The sensation surging within my chest left me questioning whether it was mere nerves or something far more perilous lurking beneath the surface. I tried to speak, but silence enveloped me as uncertainty clouded my emotions. The thought lingered persistently in my mind. It wrapped around me, infiltrating my thoughts at the most unexpected moments. As I lay in bed, navigating my morning routine in our quaint American town, I found it challenging to concentrate on anything else. Liam's words ignited a feeling within me that I couldn't overlook. Initially, it seemed utterly ridiculous. This was something I had never thought about before. The thought of being with another woman, particularly under his gaze, should have been simple to brush aside. However, that was not the case. As I pondered it further, it began to feel less unusual. A sense of curiosity emerged, subtle yet unwavering. The concept itself had a way of sticking around. It was the way he gazed at me, the way it could transform everything between us. Could it really? The question hung in the air longer than I cared to acknowledge. Truthfully, I was curious about the experience of fulfilling his desires. Though the hesitation lingered, it couldn't hold me back. I had every intention of making it happen. I was uncertain about the how and the who, yet there was one thing I was sure of. This had transformed from a mere fantasy into something much more real. At that moment, it became mine as well. The days that followed flew by in a haze. I reminded myself to keep it simple and not get lost in my thoughts. I have reached my conclusion. However, as I moved forward, the excitement only intensified. Each look at Liam, each fleeting touch intensified the thrill of the moment. I wasn't merely endorsing his fantasy. I was seizing the reins of it. Once I had everything in place, the nerves faded away, giving way to an exhilarating rush. Pure excitement. Discovering the ideal individual at the perfect moment and unveiling it flawlessly. Now, all that remained was to observe his response. That morning, nestled in our warm American home, I turned to him, my fingers gently dancing across his skin. He lay there, caught in the haze of slumber, his breaths deep and rhythmic, blissfully oblivious to the tempest swirling within me. I leaned in, my voice gentle yet resolute. "Please ensure you're home by 8 this evening. Trust me, no questions needed." His eyes slowly opened, a relaxed smile playing at the corners of his lips. "What's going on at 8? I locked eyes with him, maintaining the connection just long enough for curiosity to take root. Just wait and see. His brows arched ever so slightly, revealing a spark of curiosity that began to captivate him. He was tempted to probe further, yet he understood me too well to push for answers I wasn't ready to share. Finally, he spoke, stretching his limbs as he let out a deep breath. "I'll be right here." Excellent. By tonight, his fantasy would transform into reality. The evening arrived sooner than I anticipated. I encountered Liam at the entrance of our home, my heartbeat calm yet simmering just below the surface. A sensation stirred within me. Excitement builds, jitters, an elusive feeling I couldn't fully articulate. Unaware of what lay ahead, he felt a rush of excitement that only heightened the thrill of the unknown. He raised an eyebrow just a bit as I grasped his hand, giving him nothing but a knowing smile in return. "Follow me," I whispered, guiding him down the corridor. The door stood slightly ajar, a soft glow spilling into the hallway. As we crossed the threshold, I sensed the change, the electric atmosphere, the heavy anticipation. And then he laid eyes on her. Sophie sat gracefully on the edge of the bed, her posture exuding an effortless confidence that unmistakably conveyed her sense of belonging in that moment. She cast a quick glance at Liam before her attention turned to me, an enigmatic spark dancing in her eyes. I noticed the deliberate breath Liam drew in, observing the subtle tension that coursed through his body. He wasn't merely observing, he was taking in every detail, analyzing the implications and anticipating what was about to unfold. Then Sophie made her move. Her fingers grazed my wrist, a feather-light caress, before gliding higher, tracing my arm with intention and playful allure. I instinctively turned toward her, captivated, my breath hitching as her palm glided over my skin. This was something unique, fresh, and captivating in its unfamiliarity. The initial kiss was gentle, unhurried, and filled with discovery. A gentle brush of lips, exploring cautiously, before evolving into something more profound. My body reacted instinctively, leaning into her touch as my hands naturally found their way to her waist, savoring the warmth of her skin beneath my fingertips. A soft breath escaped from behind me, steady and deliberate, yet undeniably present. I could sense Liam's gaze upon me, fully aware that he was experiencing every moment just as intensely as I was. We embraced the moment, relishing the gradual unfolding. Sophie's hands glided with intention, slipping beneath the fabric, leading me step by step into a deeper experience. Each touch ignited a wave of warmth within me, the gradual unfolding of discovery causing me to tremble. Then she stepped into the spotlight. Her lips parted from mine, gliding along a measured, intentional route, relishing each caress. The feeling of my shirt slipping away barely registered as fingers brushed lightly against my newly exposed skin. Each movement was precise and fluid, as if she were in perfect harmony with every reaction I displayed. I experienced the warmth of her lips against my collarbone initially, then they traveled lower, gliding along the contours of my torso with intentional precision. My breath caught as she navigated with deliberate grace the feeling that sent shivers coursing through me. A gentle, lingering caress at my hips ignited a shiver within me, my body responding instinctively. The moment was unhurried, marked by a deliberate unfolding of expectation, a gradual warmth that left me breathless. Her touch became increasingly deliberate. A wave of warmth enveloped me, causing my breath to hitch. My breath became erratic, each movement pulling me deeper into the abyss. Enveloped in the sensations surrounding me, her rhythm remained unwavering. A rhythmic flow that layered upon itself, each intentional movement anchoring me in the present. A distant sound, low and strained, pierced through the haze, prompting me to turn my head slightly, my vision fading at the edges. Liam. He remained in the chair, though just on the edge of it. His hands clutched the arms firmly, his chest rising and falling with deliberate control. His eyes were fixed on me, his face a mask of mystery. Yet, every aspect of him, his stance, his tightness, communicated so much more. He was on the brink of falling apart. The atmosphere was dense, heavy with a silent connection. He was no longer a mere observer, he was entangled in this as deeply as I was. Our eyes locked, and I felt an irresistible pull as my fingers moved closer to him. The action was subtle yet intentional. A subtle invitation, a gentle recognition that his presence held equal significance in this moment, just like everything else. With a gradual release of tension in his hands and a tightening of his body, he finally rose to his feet. As Liam took a step forward, the atmosphere in the room transformed. I sensed his presence long before he came into view. The gravity of his presence, the warmth of his skin as he drew near. His hands settled on my waist, fingers pressing in just enough to send a subtle thrill coursing through me. As I glanced upward, I found his gaze locked onto mine. Deep, powerful, brimming with an unexpressed essence. In that moment, his lips met mine. The kiss was profound, brimming with emotions that words fail to capture. A gentle retreat, a soft yielding. I surrendered to his embrace, enveloped by his warmth as his hands glided along my back. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice soft and intimate against my lips. A shiver coursed through me, not merely from his words, but from the intensity with which he delivered them, as if this moment encapsulated all his deepest desires. Then Sophie made her move, a subtle movement on the bed, her presence palpable even before I glanced over. She observed him, observing us. A deliberate, understanding smile gracing her lips. Her gaze held no hesitation, no uncertainty, only a quiet confidence as she leaned in, fingers gliding over Liam's stomach, moving lower, until he released a sharp breath. I remained transfixed as she trailed kisses down his body, her fingers exploring and teasing with every movement. My lips lingered on his, my fingers entwined in his hair, sensing the subtle shiver that coursed through him. His breath deepened, each inhalation deliberate, his body responding to her every subtle movement. His grip on my back intensified as she became increasingly absorbed, a rich, resonant sound escaping from his throat. His breath hitched against my lips. His reaction sparked an electric thrill within me, the way his body tensed, the way his fingers gripped my hips as if seeking something to anchor himself. The experience was mesmerizing, as I observed his every reaction to each deliberate movement and subtle change in his breath. And then I flowed seamlessly with her. I let my kisses glide down his jawline, tracing along his neck, sensing the warmth of his pulse against my lips, moving lower still, until I found myself beside her, our actions intertwining in a quiet connection. Liam tilted his head back, his breath coming in uneven gasps, completely immersed in the connection we shared. Each sound he produced ignited a new surge of warmth within me, intensifying the moment and drawing me further into its depths. The tension was palpable, his hands clenched tightly around the sheets. Our journey was far from over. A transition, a realignment in stance. Sophie lay on the bed beneath me, her breath a warm whisper against my skin. Her hands gently guided me, positioning me perfectly, a sharp breath escaping my lips as she started. As my fingers intertwined with the sheets, waves of sensation washed over me, each slow, teasing stroke pulling me deeper, causing my head to tilt back in surrender. With Liam, the pressure of his body pressed against hers, a deep exhale escaping his lips as he moved purposefully. A soft gasp slipped from Sophie, her breath catching against my skin. Every movement resonated through me, his presence unwavering and resolute. The power of it was unmistakable. Liam's hands anchored her, each movement eliciting a response within me. Her breath, her touch, the gentle caress of her lips against mine. The experience was overwhelming, a thrilling blend of sensations that quickened my heartbeat. It was he who unraveled me, the way his eyes met mine, deep and charged with an undeniable intensity. Each movement he made sent a thrill coursing through us both. It was the intensity of his gaze that held me captive, the gentle touch of his fingers grazing my skin, and the electrifying moment when his lips found mine. That was the moment that unraveled me entirely. My body tightened, my breath halted, and the feeling washed over me in powerful surges. I had company. Liam let out a deep groan, his grip intensifying, his body shaking as the moment enveloped him. His voice hung in the air, deep and gravelly, softly uttering my name, Emma. And then silence fell. His forehead rested against mine, his breath still unsteady, a slow, contented sigh escaping his lips. A soft, breathy laugh escaped my lips, my fingers entwined in the sheets. I tilted my head just enough, my lips grazing his ear softly. Feeling joyful? He enveloped me in his embrace, drawing me near and placed a soft, lingering kiss on my shoulder. Greater than. Liam's arms enveloped me, his breath calming as we lay intertwined in the aftermath. The room lay in serene silence, interrupted only by the gentle rustling of sheets and the distant hum of life beyond our cozy American abode. Sophie moved beside us, her presence a soft whisper in the air, yet she didn't stay for long. With a subtle smile and effortless poise, she quietly slipped out of bed, collecting her belongings. "You two are something special," she said softly, her voice imbued with a warmth that resonated like a farewell. She halted at the threshold, casting a final glance back at us. Look out for one another. And then she vanished, leaving the atmosphere buoyant, the moment exclusively ours. I snuggled up to Liam, my cheek pressed against his chest, absorbing the soothing cadence of his heartbeat. His fingers glided effortlessly along my arm, a quiet promise that our bond remained unaltered yet somehow more profound. Are you doing all right? He spoke softly, his tone barely above a whisper, as if seeking reassurance from me. I leaned in slightly, locking eyes with him, his gaze gentle and probing in the muted glow. A smile danced at the corners of my lips. Better than okay, I murmured, reflecting his earlier sentiments. What about you? He released a soft, relieved chuckle, drawing me closer into his embrace. I've never felt this level of happiness before, Emma. His tone carried a sincerity that filled my chest with a beautiful ache. I gently lifted my hand, tucking a strand of hair away from his forehead, my fingers lingering softly against his skin. Good, I said, my voice playful yet inviting, as I pondered how we could possibly surpass this moment. He chuckled, the sound resonating within me, and for a brief moment we remained entwined, the outside world dissolving into a soft murmur. The excitement of the night remained, yet it was gradually mellowing, transforming into a quieter, more lasting essence. I reflected on all the moments that brought us to this point. Embrace the intrigue, feel the excitement, and take the bold step into uncharted territory. It was more than just realizing a dream. It was about building trust and uncovering aspects of each other that took me by surprise. The following morning, sunlight poured through the bedroom curtains, enveloping the space in a warm, golden hue. The sound of Liam bustling about downstairs roused me from my sleep. The soft sound of dishes clinking together and the enticing aroma of coffee wafting towards me. With a leisurely stretch, a content smile blossomed on my face as I slipped into his well-worn flannel shirt and made my way down the stairs, my bare feet softly touching the ground. In the kitchen, he stood over the stove, flipping pancakes with such concentration that it made me chuckle quietly to myself. We were a whirlwind of excitement one moment, seamlessly blending into the everyday the next. Morning, I said, leaning against the doorway, my gaze fixed on him. He shot a quick look over his shoulder, his smile appearing instantly and without reservation. Good morning, gorgeous. He gestured to the counter where a perfectly brewed mug of coffee awaited me, just as I preferred. I glided across the room, enveloping him in a warm embrace from behind, my chin gently resting on his shoulder. Pancakes, are we? You're truly indulging me. While we dined, our eyes met from across the table. Text, I said, setting my fork down. Last night was unforgettable, but this? Wow. I signaled the serene intimacy that enveloped us in that moment. This is what brings me the greatest joy. His expression turned gentle as he took my hand, his thumb gliding softly over my knuckles. Me too, he replied, keeping it straightforward. From the very beginning, it has always been you, Emma. All that remains is simply the icing on the cake. Breakfast complete. The day unfolded before us, unhurried and free of expectations. Just the two of us in our cozy little corner of the world. As we strolled through the neighborhood, the refreshing spring air of America caressed our skin while the trees blossomed with vibrant new life. His hand remained in mine, firm and comforting, and as we walked by the well-known homes and tranquil roads, a sense of assurance enveloped me. Together, we explored uncharted territory, challenged limits, and emerged even more resilient. At the heart of everything, it was undeniably us, Liam and Emma, crafting our life one moment at a time. As the sun gracefully descended beneath the horizon that evening, casting a warm glow of orange and pink across the sky, we found ourselves on the porch swing, his arm wrapped around my shoulders, my head comfortably resting against him. What comes next? I inquired, a playful mix of teasing and curiosity in my voice. His laughter was a gentle rumble that resonated within me. No matter what it is, he murmured, leaning in to press a gentle kiss on my forehead. Let's solve this together. I was certain we would, for this, our love, our trust, our serene and beautiful life was the true adventure. It exceeded all expectations.